the most crucial information so you can get a good understanding of what's going to happen in 2025.
Hopefully give you a couple of those aha moments as well, where you're just like, wow, this is going to change things.
Yeah, exactly. So we're seeing a lot of talk about this thing called workflow automation and AI agents. Um, what is that all about?
Well, I think the really interesting thing that we're seeing is how these different kind of pieces of automation are starting to kind of come together, right? Like I know in the iGrid video, they really kind of drilled down on this concept of workflow agents. And so you can think of those as kind of digital assistants that are really smart, right? They can connect all these different apps and services and then automate specific tasks, right? Multiple steps even.
Okay.
And one of the examples that they gave that I thought was really compelling was you can build an agent to go out there and find business contact information using APIs and a large language model like Claude.
Wow. Okay, so that's a big deal for all of you salespeople out there. It can help you with lead generation. So it's about taking all these tasks, right? The ones that take you a lot of time to do, the ones that are pretty repetitive, and then having AI do the heavy lifting. Kevin Stradvert demonstrated this pretty well on a smaller scale. He used Zapier for his fictional Kevin Cookie company, right? And so he showed how you can automatically send out personalized responses to customer feedback.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's like a small thing, but it really shows you the potential of AI to automate whole customer interactions and scale your business. And this is where it gets really, right, the learner. This is where it gets really interesting for you because we're going into this bigger world of agentic AI.
Yeah, exactly. The IBM technology and NVIDIA keynotes, they both really underscored this shift. Agentic AI. This is like the next step after automation.
Okay.
These are intelligent systems. They can actually think about problems, right? They can come up with a plan to solve it, and then they can carry out that plan.
Whoa.
So it's about giving AI way more autonomy, right? It's no longer just following directions. It's about them figuring things out for themselves. And if you look at the viewership for like IBM's technology channel, you can see there's a huge spike in interest around AI agents.
Yeah, it's on everyone's minds. So what you're saying is that AI is going to figure out how to give itself its own instructions in order to reach a goal. Like, it's going to give itself instructions in order to reach a goal.
Yeah.
Whoa, so how is this going to actually look in 2025?
Well, IBM Technology, they said that we're likely going to see a big change in customer service. So, you know those customer service bots that you talk to online?
Yeah.
Those are going to be able to actually solve really complex issues. They're not just going to be able to redirect you to FAQs or generate a ticket for you. They're going to be able to solve your problems right there.
Wow. That's a huge deal.
They also talked about AI systems that can monitor your IT network proactively, right? So they can actually anticipate a problem and then solve it before there's even an interruption in service.
Right. That's pretty amazing.
And Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, he described agentic AI as something that can not only understand the problem, but reason about how to solve it, create a plan of action, and then even go out there and use different kinds of information to gather what it needs to actually carry out that plan. So it's using text, images, it can even interact with websites.
Wow. So it's like AI is becoming a colleague. It's not just a tool anymore. It's like you're working with a colleague.
Yeah, a really smart one.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit here. Another big thing that we're seeing in 2025 is this term physical AI. And it sounds like AI is not just going to be on our screens anymore. It's going to be interacting with the physical world. So what's the driving force behind that?
Well, the A-Grid and NVIDIA, they both said that physical AI is going to be a huge trend next year. And basically what that means is AI is going to have to learn how the world actually works. Those things that we kind of take for granted, like friction and inertia, the fact that things continue to exist even when we can't see them.
Object permanence, right?
Yeah, object permanence. So it's about AI getting a much better understanding of reality. It sounds like it's going to be a really big shift. It is.
And the most obvious application here is in robotics. Are we going to see a big jump in what robots can do next year?
Yeah, definitely. The A-Grid predicts we're going to see a lot more humanoid robots. They're going to be able to do tasks that humans traditionally did. And they even referenced, Boston Dynamics and how advanced and autonomous those robots are becoming.
Yeah. Remember those videos of the robots doing backflips?
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's way more than just like picking something up and moving it to another place.
Definitely.
So what's actually making all of this progress possible?
Well, NVIDIA is doing a lot of work in this space. Jensen Huang made it really clear that this is a big focus for them. And their work on physical AI is really driving these advancements in robotics. And one of the key components is this platform they have called Omniverse. And they're positioning that as an operating system for physical AI.
Okay. Interesting.
And they also introduced something called Cosmos, and that's going to allow us to create these infinite controlled virtual environments.
Ah, so you're going to train the robots in these virtual environments. That makes sense. It's like a flight simulator for robots.
Exactly.
Genius. Okay, so we have the operating system, we have the virtual world. What else is there?
Well, they've also partnered with DeepMind and Disney Research to create something called Newton, and that's a very advanced GPU-accelerated physics engine, and it simulates these really fine details of how rigid and soft objects interact.
Okay.
So imagine a robot having to pick up something really fragile, right? Newton can help us train robots to do things like that much faster because we can do it in simulation.
Wow, that's really cool. And NVIDIA is actually releasing their own robot AI models, right?
Yeah, they're open sourcing Groot N1, and that's going to be a huge deal. It's going to accelerate a lot of innovation in the robotics space.
Right. That's really cool. And NVIDIA talked a lot about labor shortages in different industries.
Yeah,
And so it seems like these robots could really help fill in those gaps, right?
definitely. They could be used in things like infrastructure maintenance. They could work inside warehouses and factories. They could even be used in vehicles.
Wow. So the learner, you might actually see more autonomous systems all around you in the very near future. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I know. It's very exciting. And it's worth pointing out that Tesla is also working on robotics. And they have a huge advantage because of all the data they've collected from their cars and their manufacturing processes. All things open panel talked about that.
Yeah, they're definitely a company to watch. So we talk a lot about robots moving into the physical world, but let's go back to the digital side for a second. We're seeing a lot of improvements in AI capabilities and tools for 2025. And one of the things that really caught my attention is this idea of AI having infinite memory. Like, what does that even mean?
That's going to be a big shift. I mean, the head of Microsoft AI talked about this, and I think it's really profound. Imagine talking to an AI that remembers everything you've ever said to it. Not just the last few things, but your whole history of conversations. It's going to allow for some really deep and productive interactions.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to keep re-explaining yourself. The AI just knows, right? It'll make it feel way more natural. Less like talking to a goldfish.
Exactly. And the interesting thing is, if a system remembers everything you've told it, why would you ever switch to a different one?
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a lot of incentive for companies to actually build these systems. And beyond memory, we're also seeing some really cool AI tools that are going to make our lives easier.
Yeah, like Google AI Studio, which Kevin Stratford showed off. It can actually analyze what's on your screen and give you step-by-step instructions. It's like having an expert standing over your shoulder.
Yeah, and he showed how you could use it for things like pivot tables in Excel. So anyone who works with data, this is going to be a really big deal.
Yeah, for sure. And ChatGPT is getting better too, right? It's way more than just a chatbot now.
Yeah.
They have a canvas now for editing text and code. They have better reasoning models to help you solve really complex problems. You can upload documents now for project analysis. They're adding multimodal support so you can use images and files. And of course, there's Sora for video generation.
Right, and they're adding all these new features all the time. It's really amazing to see how fast they're developing it.
Yeah, ChatGPT is becoming like a Swiss Army knife for AI. And now we have all these specialized tools like EDO for creating music with AI.
Yeah, and what's really cool about EDO is that it's super accessible. You can describe the music you want, even provide your own lyrics. You can specify the structure, and the AI will generate it for you. So it doesn't matter what your skill level is, you can create music now.
Wow, okay, that's really cool. I like that. That's awesome. And for content creators, 11 Labs is going to be a huge deal because you can generate really realistic AI voices. You can even create a digital clone of your own voice.
Yeah, and Ishan Sharma pointed out that if you want to make a voice clone that sounds really natural, you're going to need to give the system a lot of audio, like around 10 hours of high-quality audio.
Whoa, okay, yeah, that's a lot.
But once you do that, you can create audio content without having to constantly record yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. You can even change your voice, add sound effects, and do audio dubbing and translation. So you can reach a global audience with your content.
Yeah, it's really powerful technology.
Yeah. And then there's Perplexity AI. Kevin Stratford showed this off. It's a new kind of search engine.
Right, it's not just a search engine, though.
Yeah, and it's really focused on giving you answers that are backed up by reliable sources.
Yeah, and it's designed to evenize hallucinations. So, those times when AI just makes stuff up,
Right.
It's supposed to be a lot better at providing accurate information. And you can even choose what kinds of sources you want it to use. Like, do you want information from the general web, academic research, social medias? And it gives you citations so you know where it got its information from. So it's going to be really useful for research and fact-checking.
Yeah, it sounds like a really powerful tool for the learner who's trying to do research.
Definitely.
And then for those of you who are creating videos and podcasts, Descript is really changing the game.
Yeah, it's amazing how much it can do. You can edit your videos and podcasts just by editing the text. You can use AI to generate voices for overdubs or to fill in gaps. It can automatically improve the sound quality, remove background noise, generate captions. It makes the whole post-production process way easier.
Yeah, I love that. It's so much faster. It's like you don't have to spend hours and hours editing your content.
Exactly. And Ishan Sharma, he mentioned some other really interesting AI music
Oh,
tools
yeah.
like Suno AI and SoundDraw. There are even tools now that can analyze your video and create custom background music to match the vibe. So copyright has always been an issue for creators, right? And these AI tools are offering some really interesting solutions.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big deal for a lot of people. And then there's this tool called Notebook LM, which can summarize really long documents for you.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge time saver for anyone who has to deal with a lot of information. And then Runway ML, they have Gen 3 Alpha, and that's really pushing the boundaries of what we can do with AI video generation.
Right. It has realistic camera movements, and they're working on a feature that will let you generate video from just describing what each frame should look like.
That's right. It's really amazing how fast this technology is advancing.
Okay, so for all you developers out there, there are a lot of options. So what are some of the other tools that developers are using? What are the platforms?
Well, AI coding assistants are becoming really popular. So things like GitHub, Copilot, Tab9, and Amazon Code Whisperer, they can help you write code faster and more efficiently. And then there are integrated development environments, or ADEs. So something like VS Code has become really powerful. It has a lot of features for AI development. And then you have the cloud computing platforms. So AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure, those are all really important for training and deploying complex AI models.
Yeah, the cloud is essential these days, right? I mean, you can't really do AI without the cloud.
Right. It gives you access to all the computing power and storage you need.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI in 2025, what are the key takeaways for you? What are the things that our listeners should remember?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we're going to see a lot more AI agents. They're going to be able to automate really complex tasks, and they're going to be able to do it autonomously.
Yeah, that's a huge shift. And in the physical world, we're going to see a lot more robots. They're going to be doing a lot of the jobs that humans used to do.
That's right. And all of this is happening because of the rapid progress in AI technology. We have more powerful hardware and software now, and there's a growing awareness of the ethical considerations around AI.
Yeah, so 2025 is going to be a big year for AI. We're going to see a lot of these advancements move from research into the real world, and they're going to have a big impact on our life.
Definitely. It's a really exciting time to be following AI.
Yeah, it is. It's full of potential, but it also has some challenges. So the learner, our final thought for you, think about what these advancements mean for you. How will they affect your work, your personal life? The world is changing really fast, so stay informed, be adaptable, and keep exploring the world of AI. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Thanks for listening.